Good evening to all our viewers. Welcome once again to another installment of Reform Studios Live. We're so glad you could join us. As always, Wednesday evening from 19 hours to 20 hours. You're so welcome. As always, please like, subscribe, share the link to the live session today with someone. It's always never too late to join us on this wonderful Reform Studios live program. So today we have a very interesting topic. The topic is the myth of soulmates. The myth of soulmates. And I'm sure for a number of us who have lived long enough, you have heard the term soulmate. Oh, I think I found my soulmate. I feel you are my soulmate. And all that to do with soulmates. So today we want to talk about the myth of soulmates from a biblical perspective. And to help us do that, we have Pastor Mwindula Mbewe. Welcome, Pastor Mbewe.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure to have you once again.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yes, indeed. So, as we begin, as always, in case you are seeing Pastor Mwindula Mbewe for the first time, we'll just ask him, as always, just tell us a bit about yourself, and then we'll dive into today's topic.
My name is Mwindula Mbewe, Christian, pastor of Hillview Baptist Church, a husband to my wife Namundi, and father to my two daughters.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so we are talking about the myth of soulmates. And, as we were preparing for this, I actually remembered back in the day, BC, before Christ, there was actually a song that became quite familiar. I think it was in the late 80s into the early 90s. It was entitled "You Are My Soulmate," and back in the day, you would hear people talking about, oh, that young lady is my soulmate. I think she looks like someone I want to spend the rest of my life with. There's this chemistry, there's this click. So maybe just to sort of start off the whole discussion. Of course, the concept of soulmate is prevalent in, our culture. Maybe you can just take us through where exactly did this concept come from of soulmates as a way of kicking off the topic.
Yes, I spoke about this at a recent wedding.
Yes.
And the last wedding we had at Hillview Baptist Church. And I was also wondering,
Indeed.
where does this concept come from? And
Yes.
so I tried to do a little bit of research, and I was surprised to find that it is prevalent almost everywhere.
Yeah.
Whether it is in culture, whether it is in the church, in religion,
Right.
it in historically,
Yes.
it's quite prevalent. So, for instance, in ancient Greek thinking, I think there was a playwright
Right.
who wrote about it. Maybe he wrote about it as a joke, but maybe it took hold. But he wrote, I suppose, playfully. There's a playwright that human beings once had two heads with 4 arms
Right.
and 4 legs.
Uh-huh.
And this made them very strong.
Right.
And so the gods, fearing the strength of human beings, decided to split them into 2.
Right.
So that you had now one head, split this human being into 2, and now it's one head on each, 2 hands and 2 legs,
Right.
instead of the way it was combined.
Yes.
And so there was this idea that, these 2 now became linked as soulmates, one male, one female.
Right.
And they wandered the world in search of each other. You also find it in religions.
Okay.
And I think it fits very well in the Buddhist religion and other religions that have reincarnation.
All right.
Because obviously you live a particular life, and in these religions, the better the life you live, when you come back, if you're a mosquito, maybe you come back as a lion.
Oh, yes.
And if you're a very good lion, you come back as a human being.
Uh-huh.
And you keep being upgraded.
Yes.
If you don't live well enough, you're downgraded.
Yeah.
So I think it fits well in that kind of concept, because obviously if you were a lion and a lioness,
Right.
when you come back as human beings,
Right.
and you meet this man or woman who was your mate,
Yes.
in the previous incarnation, you just feel a connection that you can't explain. And you see it in movies where they say, it's like I knew you in another life.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's that kind of thing. So they are soulmates.
Right.
I think that it has even made its way into the church using this word called compatibility,
Okay.
where you find people who are not keen on the options that they have in front of them. And you ask, you chap, why aren't you marrying these girls? Or you girl, why aren't you seeing these guys?
Yeah.
And the reason is, no one is really compatible with me.
Right.
And actually, when I was in the youth ministry myself, it was a huge idea, compatibility. Part of like marriage, find someone with whom you are compatible. And I've always wondered, because it's not a concept in the Bible. From my reading, maybe someone in the comments
please feel free to comment.
If someone in the comments knows where this is found in the Bible, I failed to find it.
Right.
The idea of compatibility. So, and that stops someone, from settling down. So I think that's you find it almost everywhere and anywhere except the Bible. The Bible does not teach about soulmates, this person who you are just connected with, and who, when you meet, you just feel a connection that you can't explain.
Connection you can't explain. And if it's a movie, there's dramatic music playing in the
background. Your heart skips a beat. And all these kinds of things. That's biology. That's not soulmates. That's biology at work and psychology. So I think it's everywhere and anywhere except the Bible.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for giving that background. And I think sometimes I think in life we tend to think that certain concepts, including soulmates, is just a modern thing, in contemporary. But it's interesting to note that this is something that is as old as human behavior itself. So it's quite interesting. And I love the fact that you mentioned the fact that the Bible doesn't really speak to the issue of soulmates, finding a soulmate, and the like, and which leads us to our next point, which is how does the concept of a soulmate differ with the biblical understanding of love and marriage?
The biggest problem with the concept of a soulmate, I mean, by definition, a soulmate is someone who you are connected to in a way that you don't understand. You kind of meet them for the first time, or you have just limited interaction. But you just, it just flows, there's no struggle. And that's the world's definition.
And the basis of love, and say this must be the one.
This must be the one, because look, it's so easy with them. And so normally the idea is, this is someone who gets me. This is someone who understands me. This is someone who knows exactly, we finish each other's sentences.
Jinx and all that.
Right. And so there's just this connection, there's just this bond that I can't explain. This must be my soulmate.
Right.
And it's the idea that this is someone who I'm connected with in a way that I can't quite understand. And really, this is someone who completes me.
Yes.
So this is like the missing piece in my life.
Right.
Now that's difficult and is not in line with what the Bible teaches us about the relationship in marriage and what love really is.
Okay.
It actually flips it.
Right.
So that instead the Bible tells us that love is not about my wants and needs and finding someone who can meet them and fulfill them.
Right.
Love is about, meeting the wants and needs of someone else. No,
Yes.
love is not about focusing on self.
Yes.
Love is about focusing on the other person and serving the other person
Right.
and satisfying the other person as best you can.
Yes.
So the focus shifts from what can I give to
Yes.
what can I get.
Yes.
What need can I meet to what need can they meet for me? So
Right.
that if they don't meet that need, or then you must not be the person for me.
We are not compatible.
We are not compatible, exactly. But obviously, the Bible paints a different picture of love in the famous passage, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. In fact, maybe I didn't make reference to it. But it says, love is patient, verse 4, kind.
Yes.
Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. What I want people to notice is that there's nothing here in the description of love which is about me.
Right.
Everything is about how can I be more, charitable, more gentle, more giving, more understanding to the other person. Even if they're not the same for me.
Yeah.
That's besides the point.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
so love is not about, okay, what have you done for me? You've reached 20%, let me also give you 20%. No. Love is even if you've given me nothing, I'll still love you and care for you.
Yes.
So love is patient, kind. Love does not envy or boast. It's not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It's not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. So that's the picture we get of love. And this is why when you look at Bible times where people married strangers, where people married people who were betrothed to them, it was arranged marriages.
Yes, yes.
Remember Isaac?
Yes, yes.
What happened with Isaac?
Isaac, Abraham sent his servant.
Right.
And then when he got there, this girl came.
Right. And that was someone Isaac was not familiar with.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
And the lady arrived.
Yeah.
And it's the
Watched
first
at
meeting.
the animals and everything.
Yes. And they met for the first time with Isaac. Soon after that, they were married. And the Bible says he loved her.
Yes.
Yeah. So there was nothing about compatibility and what we should. No. Because, in other words, the biblical understanding is that a marriage should work not because someone meets my wants and needs, but because both of us are focused on each other's wants and needs.
Right.
And that's what makes it beautiful.
Yes.
Because the selfishness is thrown out.
Yeah.
Now, soulmates can't fit in that whole thing,
Yes.
There's this someone who is just made and meant for me. And if you're not ticking these boxes and making me feel a certain way, then you're not the one.
Yeah.
So it's completely polar opposite of what the Bible tells us about love and marriage.
Yeah. I think that is so crucial to understand. And thank you for bringing that into perspective. I think the issue of soulmates really, from what you have explained so far, can really distort what marriage is supposed to be, what love in the scriptures tells us. And even for a Christian, if they are taken with the whole issue of the myth of soulmates. Yeah. So
in fact,
they
are one thing I've noticed in the church is a lot of frustration of couples.
Yes.
Where they say, he just doesn't get me. He doesn't understand, and he should know what I want before I tell him. Why do I need to tell him? Then it means he doesn't love me. So you can see, if you trace that sort of thinking, it's sort of going to soulmates.
Yes.
Because this person is supposed to be my soulmate. Why do I need to explain everything to him?
You're supposed to be completing my sentences.
Exactly. Exactly.
I want.
So just to point out, again, it's infiltrated the church. We may not be using the terminology.
Yes.
But it's behind a lot of the frustration and thinking of many people.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much. So you are watching Reformed Studios Live. Today we're talking about the myth of soulmates, with Pastor Mwindula Mbewe. Thank you for tuning in. It's not too late to share. It's not too too late to tell someone to tune in. So please, please share, like the page, subscribe, let people know on social media that you're watching. And yes, as always, we have Isaac and Stella Twabaze watching from Uganda. Thank you so much, Isaac
Our
and Stella.
faithful followers.
Yes, our faithful followers from Uganda.
They
Yes.
need to get some free t-shirts.
Yes, yes. We need to organize something for you. We need to do that. We need to do that. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. And we also have Kapambwe Mwape also watching from Ibex. Thank you so much. That's via YouTube. So please feel free to comment. Feel free to like. Let us hear from you. Ask your questions as well. Please feel free. There's no such thing as a dumb question when it comes to these things. So please ask the question, and then it will be clarified by Pastor Mbewe, and we'll both be on the same page in terms of our understanding of the issue, the myth of soulmates.
May I comment? I didn't comment on the marriage.
Yes,
I
please.
commented on the love.
Yes.
What soulmate takes away from marriage is the work that marriage requires.
That's right.
It's just the fact that marriage is hard work.
Oh, yes.
And where's the hard work? It's just getting to know each other, getting to
Yes.
understand each other.
Yes.
The patience
Yes.
that requires, the forgiveness, the ability to apologize, the ability to forgive the
Even
other
when
way.
it's not your fault.
Yes. And just learning the other person, their likes, their dislikes, learning what sort of upsets them, and I didn't know this gets on your nerves.
Oh,
And
yes.
so
Yes.
there's and just the hours of communication and
That's right.
conflict resolution.
Yes.
As you are really getting to know each other.
Yes.
You know, that's completely the opposite of soulmates.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Indeed.
soulmates makes marriage seem easy.
Yes.
It makes marriage seem like marriage should just flow.
Yes.
And
Yes.
from day one, you're just locked in. And anyone you talk to who's been married, even to their soulmate,
Yes.
will tell you that that's not what it is. You know, marriage is
Indeed.
hard work, and
Yes.
and so I think this myth accounts for many broken marriages and
Yeah.
a lot of frustration in marriages
Yes.
as well. Yeah.
So true, so true. And in fact, I'm so glad we're talking about this, especially for those who may still be single out there. Because which leads us to our next point of the fact that many people, single people, feel a tremendous amount of pressure to find their soulmate. So how does this belief that you're searching for this one specific person, your other half, as it were, how does it hinder a person's ability to truly get to know and appreciate unique qualities of others?
Yeah. Well, obviously you are always thinking about yourself, and so instead of trying to understand a person
Yeah.
who is a prospective mate,
Yes.
you are only looking for specific things. So everything else is, get that out of the, get that out. Does he have this? I like reading.
Yeah.
And you're just waiting to hear anything to do with books. And yet when this person talks about traveling or talks
Yes.
about other interests,
Yes.
it's just going in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got your checklist.
Yes.
And you're kind of waiting for him or her to hit those marks.
Yeah.
Only 1 out of 5. But you missed everything else this person looking for.
Yeah.
But it makes us selfish in terms of our relationship with the Lord.
Yeah, I think that is so, so crucial, because, I mean, it reminds me of in the years when we were younger, and even now, you talk to a young man and this person says, okay, she doesn't believe like I believe, but it's like we're really just meant for each other. And I think that explains that aspect.
Yes.
Where someone has this misplaced notion and understanding of what it means to be in a relationship and enter into a relationship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're only thinking about, but and that leads to, this thing where you're trying to convert the person, put them on a quick,
Yes.
what do you call it, a quick lesson plan to convert them.
Uh-huh.
It leads you to compromise because now you start ignoring things which you shouldn't ignore.
Yes.
You start
Yes.
downplaying things you shouldn't downplay. Oh, they'll
Yes.
grow. Oh, they
Yes.
just don't. You hear this a lot. Oh, they just don't. It's just that they're not from my church background. That's why my church leaders don't understand.
Yeah. Or I'll change her. I'll change him.
I'll change him. I'll change her. We can work on these things in marriage. So you're asking yourself, what is driving this individual to this person who is not saved?
Right. Right.
What is keeping them with them?
Yes.
Well, they are so connected and they get along so well. And it flows. And it's all going back to the soulmate thing.
Yes.
And it's this idea of reluctance because I may never, ever find someone like them. I may never find someone who I gel with like them, who excites me or pleases me or whose company I enjoy like them. And it's this whole thing of there's only that one person out there. If I miss them, I'll never find anyone who can suit me and match me like them.
Okay.
So I think it's extremely dangerous in that sense for single people.
Okay. So since we're on this part of the discussion, I've noticed there are two questions on YouTube which are related to what we're talking about and how far we've come. So, of course, our faithful viewers, Isaac and Stella from Uganda, are saying there is a belief that every woman came from a rib. Can it be attached to this soulmate myth? There is that one person who is totally compatible with you.
It could. It could. I've not thought about that. This whole idea of I've found my rib.
Yeah.
And it's not so much that I found a woman to marry, it's that I found the woman who was meant for me and is perfectly matched to me when that should not be the issue at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ones who end up with the right person are those who are focused more on what pleases God than what is pleasing me.
Yes.
And then you just find someone who is a better match.
Yeah.
Not because they tick all the boxes, not because the discussion is seamless, but because they prioritize what is important for you, which is pleasing the Lord.
That's right.
And honoring the Lord.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. Then we also have Oza Mutelele, who's watching via YouTube. So he's asking to say, wouldn't we tie the idea of soulmate to an attraction, or they are different? I mean to ask if we ever marry people we are attracted to. So I guess he's saying, are we tying the idea of soulmate to an attraction, or are those two things different? Does it mean that the person I must marry is a person I shouldn't be attracted to? Put another way.
Yeah, no, that's not the idea. I'm not trying to discount that, just go, whoever I'm attracted to, no.
She's beautiful, no. I refuse. Soulmatism.
Let me go for the one who I've got no interest. To avoid this soulmate trap. That's not the idea. I think it's all about what's the priority.
Right.
If the priority is if it all boils down to who I'm attracted to, and who I get along with and who it just flows with, then you are moving into that soulmate mindset.
Yes.
I think the priority should be what is God's will, who has God, kept for me, or who does God mean for me to be with who
Yes.
fits his will, both his revealed and hidden will, and then the attraction and those kinds of things should not overrule
Yes.
that important
Yes.
aspect.
Yes.
So I think it's all
Yes.
about what is in the forefront, what is the priority, what is the most important thing.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with being attracted to the person if the important things are in place.
Yeah, yeah, and I think, like you said, you want to marry someone who is of like faith, like-minded in terms of chasing after God, for lack of a better word, having a personal relationship with Christ. You know, because I think life is so dynamic. You want someone who will point you to God,
Right.
in times of crisis, rather
Right.
than saying, yeah,
Right.
let's try one of these quick loans where after, you know, you default, they start calling everyone, including your employers, to say you're owing, and you find yourself
Absolutely.
in a trap. Yeah. So I hear what you're saying. Okay, thank you so much, Oza, for that question, and I hope it's been clarified. All right, so then, I think we've touched a bit on the whole aspect of, you know, the magical click and everything. Our next question has to do with the fact that, if at all, and I know you've mentioned a few aspects, rather than waiting for this magical click from the soulmate, you know, what are the key character qualities and spiritual markers a Christian should look for in a potential spouse? Perhaps that may also help Oza's question. Yeah.
Yeah, well, first, a Christian. Bible makes that very clear in 1 Corinthians chapter 7.
Right.
At the end of the chapter, the Apostle Paul makes this statement saying that the one who loses their spouse, so their spouse dies, is free to marry, provided they marry, he makes this statement, in the Lord.
All right.
That's 1 Corinthians 7 verse 39. A wife is bound to her husband as long as he lives, but if her husband dies, she is free to be married to whomever she wishes.
Right.
The world is your oyster,
Yes.
but there's only one, what's the word? One qualification, one
Yes.
condition,
Yes.
and it is that they should marry in the Lord.
Right.
That means a Christian. 2 Corinthians 6 verse 14 is also very clear. Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. And it goes on, for what partnership has righteousness with lawlessness, or what fellowship has light with darkness, and so on and so forth.
Right.
And so the primary thing you are looking for as a believer is that you marry a believer. In other words, the Bible recognizes only one compatibility, and it is Christian compatibility.
Yes.
All others that we are coming up with, no, I like chess, I'm looking for someone who likes chess, I like marathons, that is all nonsense. In fact, what you find is no matter how compatible you think you are when you are in the relationship,
Yes.
what hits you when you get married is just how incompatible you are.
You can say that again.
I'm telling you. And you're wondering, what is this thing? This isn't even a person anymore. This is other terrestrial. Because I made a simple statement and someone understood something else. So it's just the incompatibility. You know, you'll find that all those things you were cherishing, we are compatible.
Yes.
They just diminish in light of all the incompatibility.
Yes.
That's what made me throw away that idea of compatibility.
Yeah.
You know, it was
Yeah.
getting married.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it hit me,
Yes.
hey, there's a serious incompatibilities here.
We may enjoy the same movies in this area, but in
there
this,
are five other things where we are just we're just missing each
Yes.
other. And where is
Yes.
the problem?
Yes.
And it can tend to even frustrate those things where you are compatible. You know, a lot of the things you say, we enjoy traveling. You find you only travel once a year.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
once in 2 years for
Indeed.
a holiday.
Indeed.
But you have to do life together.
Yes.
For 365
Yes.
other days.
Yes.
In the year. And so it's the only that's why the Bible keeps it simple.
Yeah.
The only requirement, the only condition, the only thing that makes you incompatible is if you are a believer and this person is an unbeliever.
Yeah.
So long as you are a believer and they are a believer, you are compatible. You should be able to marry.
Okay.
I would add, because believer, the problem is that throw a stone and you hit a
And
believer.
yes.
A
Yes.
believer.
That's right. That's right.
There's no one you're going to meet who you ask, are you a believer, who will say, I'm not a believer. And that's why it's important to go further, and you want to see someone who's showing fruit. You want to see someone who's growing.
Yes.
You want to see someone who has evident love for the Lord, love for his church.
Yes.
Someone who is humble enough to admit when they are wrong. Someone who is able to communicate in a constructive way when you have an issue.
Yes.
So you just want to see the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness. I've mixed them up, and self-control.
Yes. Especially that one.
Yes.
In marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to see. So I like to put it this way: you want someone who's a Christian, but that can be quite a low bar. Because look, there are people in the church. There are people who are professing Christians and are members of my church.
Yes.
And I've told them that I would not recommend anyone to marry you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because your Christianity leaves much to be desired.
Yes. Yes.
And until we see growth and so on and so forth, I wouldn't even recommend that someone marries you.
Yeah.
Even though they have ticked, Christian and all those things.
Yes.
And so I think it's important to go a little further and say, is there fruit? I like to put it this way. Marry someone who inspires you spiritually. Yeah. Marry someone who there's a wow factor about them spiritually.
Right.
You're like, wow, I love this person's love for that. I love this person's commitment. I love this person's love for the church. I love the something. Don't just give it an easy pass that they have a testimony and you leave it there.
Yeah.
I think you might pay a heavier price than you bargained for.
Yeah.
So I'd say those two things: a Christian, someone who inspires you spiritually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think as you were speaking, I was reminded of that scripture in Peter. I can't remember if it's 1 Peter or 2 Peter, where Peter is encouraging the women to say, "Let your adornment not be about outward,
The outward, yes.
but of the heart as well."
Right.
Like you said, and the whole issue of having these shared Christian values that are true to Scripture, like you said, because anyone can claim to be a Christian, but some people are shifty, you know.
And for me, the silver bullet is the church. People are going to tell you, prospective partners who tell you, heaven and earth about themselves.
Yes.
And let's read the Bible, let's pray together, let's read this devotional.
Yes.
They'll do all these things, but it's so easy to put up a face.
Yes.
It's so easy to want to please. If you are in a relationship with someone who's spiritual, you want to also become spiritual. I also love the Lord. I also go to church.
Yes.
Just because that's where they are.
Yeah.
But those things disappear in marriage. And that's why I think the real you comes out. And that's why I think the church is helpful.
Yes.
Because at church, no one is really trying to please anybody. We are all our real selves. If we are not interested in loving the Lord, loving His people, serving the Lord, we won't. We'll be in the back seat.
That's right.
If we're not interested in attending church meetings, that's who we're going to be. But the beauty with the church and getting someone who you have seen their love for the Lord in the context of the church is you are likely to get something more genuine.
Yes.
And as you consult, people are going to tell you, that one, don't even waste time. quickly, marry that one. Because they've seen the evidence.
Yes.
Way before anyone came to say, can I marry this person? This person was already showing.
Yeah. There's a testimony.
There's evidence. Yeah. And so I'm concerned really about Christians who are going for just professing Christians. They're not in a church anywhere. That's so dangerous.
Yes.
You want to marry someone who has a good testimony in the context of a local church.
Yeah.
A place where they go every Sunday.
Yeah.
and the people who they worship with can say that one committed, loves the Lord, serves here, attends meetings, and we've seen their love for the Lord and love for others.
Yes.
Then you say, it's not always rock solid. You might get some disappointments, but it's far more certain.
Yes.
Because marriage is tough enough for two true believers.
Yes.
Who love the Lord.
Yes.
It's tough enough.
Yes, indeed.
If you're going to get someone who's in spiritual ICU or we're spiritually dead, I mean, you're going to really, I've seen it countless times. People have challenges rising above. You will never rise above the person you marry. There are very few people who will marry someone who's spiritually lukewarm and manage to stay on fire.
Right.
Very few.
Right.
I'm struggling to. Can you think of it?
No.
You've been on earth longer than me.
The secret is out. Yeah, anyway, so I like you said, the tendency is for people to, what they say, grow apart, where you stop investing in the marriage. Because like you said, marriage is hard work.
Yeah.
You stop investing and you just, take that effort that is supposed to be put into the marriage elsewhere. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, so I've seen countless times of, here's a godly young man marries a lukewarm lady. Godly woman marries a lukewarm man. It's the disease that contaminates the healthy.
Yeah.
It's not the one who's doing well who normally lifts up the other one. No.
Very rare cases.
Yeah. Unless maybe you marry someone who's a younger Christian, still growing, still developing.
Yes.
But someone who's been in the system, who's been in the church, and there is no evidence that this person is growing and so on and so forth.
Yes.
You make the mistake of marrying that person, you pay the price.
Yeah. And I think that leads us to the next point or the next issue, which is, I mean, from what we're saying, culture and society sometimes puts pressure on a single person, to find the one. When will you find the one? And everything. And since we're on this issue of soulmates and people trying to find who they'll click to, how can a Christian who is single find meaning and fulfillment that isn't dependent on finding a soulmate? Because for some people, I mean, I've come across Christians, and I'm sure perhaps you can also maybe share your own encounter, of course, without sharing names, where people end up in a desperate situation, where you hear people saying, "This might be the last bus, my brother, my sister."
If you miss this one, you're done.
Just we jail, but even though, certain behaviors, the way he behaves, I've heard this and that rumor about, so, and sometimes people get depressed thinking, oh, will I be single for the rest of my life? Like, this is the end of my walk of faith. And some people, it affects their walk of faith. How can a Christian who is single find meaning and fulfillment that isn't dependent on finding a soulmate?
Yeah, when you heap your source or hope of fulfillment and satisfaction on a person, number one, you'll be disappointed.
Yes.
No human being has the ability to satisfy any other human being.
Yeah.
You've got these guys who go out of their way for these ladies, bend over backwards. I mean, the guy is buying flowers every day and posting on his status every day, and the lady is just not satisfied. Why? Because you can't do it. You can't meet the need for satisfaction that is innate in any human being.
Yes.
And so, one, it will fail. Two, you crush the person. You crush the person who you are demanding of them that they satisfy you.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever be enough, and you keep pushing them to do more, pushing them.
Yes.
And in the end, they're just suffocated and crushed and discouraged.
Yeah.
And so the only one who is able to fill that void is God, in the person of his Son, Jesus Christ.
That's right.
He said, I have come that to give you life and to give it more abundantly.
Yes.
So ultimately, it's Christ who fills that hole. That's John 10:10. In John 4, he tells the woman at the well, I can give you water and you never thirst again.
Oh, yes.
And she says, and this is a woman who had 5 husbands.
5 soulmates.
And was now on the 6th soulmate.
Number 6.
So Jesus says, look, it's not working. Maybe I can offer you something that can finally satisfy your thirsty soul.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, Christ satisfies our thirsty soul. I talked about this on Sunday.
Yes.
That the Bible in Colossians chapter 3 tells Christians that verse 4, when Christ, who is your life,
that's right,
appears. This is what it means to be a Christian. It's to have Christ and for him to so satisfy you that he becomes your life.
Yes.
In Psalm 73, the psalmist says, whom have I in heaven but you?
Yes.
Earth has nothing I desire apart from you. My heart and my soul may fail, but you are I keep messing up these verses. I need to look for it. Yeah. So so you can see how the scriptures keep pointing us above.
Yes.
Stop looking down on earth for anything that satisfies. Look above.
That's right.
And out goes and Jesus does that by dying on the cross, because what separates us from God the Father is sin.
Sin.
He's not going to come anywhere near sin.
Oh, yes.
And so by dying on the cross, he deals with the sin that separates us from the Father.
Yes.
Because the Father can have nothing to do with sinners. But Christ dies for our sin, and if we put our faith and trust in him as the one who died for our sins are washed away.
Yes.
And we are given his righteousness.
That's right.
And God can draw near to us.
Yes.
And satisfy the need of our soul.
Yes.
So I think that's where it comes from. And I would go so far as to say, if Christ has not yet satisfied your soul, you are bound to make a wrong decision, especially when it comes to marriage.
Yeah.
Because as you are saying, you panic.
Yes.
The biological clock. And before you make too much money in your career, find someone. Because now you only be able to find people who want you for your money. And there are all these pressures and things. And so you're kind of like, will you win?
Yes.
And that's never right. But when your soul has been satisfied with Christ, if they tell you this is the last bus, it's not a good enough bus.
Yes.
It can go.
I'll wait for the next matatu.
And you can just wait upon the Lord to provide a spouse who is according to his will, who meets his qualifications. Rather than shortcuts.
So true. And as you were speaking, it actually drew me back to what you said earlier about biblical love and a biblical marriage being not about me, but outward looking, looking to the needs of the other person, because your true needs are already fulfilled by Christ. So you are able to give out as opposed to, trying to get, from a selfish point of view.
Right.
But it's that mutual exchange of being able to look out for one another as husband and wife. Okay, so you are watching Reform Studios Live. Please, as always, it's not too late to ask someone to tune in. We're looking at the myth of soulmates, and Pastor Mwindula Mbewe is taking us through. Please, if you have questions, don't wait till it's only 5 minutes to go. Please go ahead and ask that question in advance, and we'll have it addressed so that we can all be learning from what is being shared this evening. Okay, so then, building upon what you've spoken about, the soulmate myth often puts immense pressure, not only on single people, but also on marriage as well. And so, someone enters marriage, like you had mentioned earlier, with this whole notion of soulmate, we click, and then now they enter marriage and reality hits home, and then now there's this thing of saying he has changed, but like you said, overlooking those things
Right.
that were irritable, and then now when hardship and conflict comes, as it always does with every marriage, how can a couple move past the idea that they married the wrong person and instead embrace a biblical understanding of commitment, and sanctification, like you mentioned earlier?
Yeah. The truth is, we all marry the wrong person.
Sinners saved by grace, including ourselves.
Right. Yeah, we soon discover, this is not what I was hoping for, this is not what I was thinking. So, in fact, this is a good question. It goes along with the message I preached.
Yes, yes.
The second point was a 2-point sermon.
Right.
I can't even remember what the first point was. But the second point was, if you want to find it was something like this. Your soulmate, you don't find your soulmate and then marry them.
Mm-hmm.
You marry a person
Yes.
and declare them to be your soulmate.
Because you then start working at it.
Right. So in other words, it's not that there's everything that, this person just suits you perfectly and you say, aha, this must be the one must be the one meant for me. No.
Yeah.
Dispense of that idea.
Yeah.
Rather, you pick a person and when you marry them, they are your soulmate. In other words, if you now go out there and you start finding someone else who clicks with you and who gets you, who it just flows with them better than your spouse, you need to remember that actually my soulmate is the one I've already married.
Yes.
Regardless of how I
Yes.
tick with these other people out here.
Yes.
My soulmate is the one I left at home. So, in other words, it's really about a decision
Yes.
to commit to this person.
That's what true love is.
Yeah. And to love this person, as we say in the vows,
Yes.
in sickness and in health,
Yes.
for richer, for poorer, for better or worse,
Worse.
until death,
Death.
do us part.
Yes.
Even the vows tell you that's why did they come up with such vows? It must be people. You can be sure it's
Get ready
married
for
people.
Kafafa. Yes. Yes.
It's only married people who can
yeah, it's
come
only
up
married
with,
people.
with those kinds of vows, because they know that this thing is tough.
Yes.
Yes. And so for anyone who's out there saying, I think I married the wrong person, that is the first step to a successful marriage.
Welcome to marriage.
Yes.
Like someone said, if love is a dream, marriage is the alarm clock. Wakes you up.
Yeah. So if you are thinking that I married the wrong person, congratulations. You are now you are now ready for marriage, for the real stuff, because you've discovered, and I agree with you, you did marry the wrong person. We all did, and now we are trying to say, God, give me the grace to love this person, even though I've realized they are wrong for me. And there were other people out there who were apparently better for me.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. Don't be like these people who it takes them the second, third, fourth marriage to
yes.
discover what I've said. That
True.
everyone you marry is the wrong person.
True.
Some people, it has to reach the third marriage to discover, hey, how come?
Yeah.
There's a pattern here.
Yes. Human beings are not perfect.
Exactly.
Neither am I.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This idea of a person I'm looking for doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And finally you say, I just have to work with this same person, otherwise I'm just going to keep jumping in and out of marriages. So I think it's important to realize in your first marriage, or whatever marriage you are on, number what right now, that look, this is it.
Yeah.
And this Prince Charming, Princess Cinderella is a figment of my imagination.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Please let us know where you're watching from. Do tell us. We have a couple of comments here. Okay, we have Philemon Fula watching from Chinsali, Muchinga province. Soulmates. Kiki with a laughing face. We feel you, my brother. All right, and then we have Nook Puk Nook. Okay, I almost think this is someone from Singapore, but enjoying from Chivombo. The message is clear and true because there are a lot of misconceptions about marriage. Anything built on false foundations, false expectations, struggles to stand. Thank you so much, Nook Puk Nook, for that comment. Yeah, and then of course we also have Elisha Simushi also watching, saying great points. All right, thank you so much for those comments. And of course, as always, please, if you have questions, please do let us know. Do let us know as we are getting ready to get to our last 2 points. Okay, so then, we've talked about the fact that yes, marriage is hard work. Okay, the Bible actually describes a husband and wife as becoming one flesh. Yeah, can you explain how this concept of unity and partnership is something that is built and grown over time, rather than a feeling that is discovered? And I think you've already sort of touched on that already, but maybe just expanding a bit more.
Yeah, it's a good question. Let me go there.
Yeah.
It's in Genesis chapter 2.
Right.
Context is key.
Yes.
To understanding anything.
That's right.
This is the point where the Eve is brought to Adam.
Yes.
Verse 21 of Genesis 2, so the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and while he slept, took one of his ribs and closed up its place with flesh. And the rib that the Lord God had taken from the man, he made into a woman and brought her to the man.
Yes.
Then he said, this at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. And here it comes, therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And the man and his wife were both naked and were not ashamed. You know what bothered me about this verse is, why is this verse talking about father and mother?
Interesting. Yeah.
Why is a verse about marriage and the one flesh union talking about father and mother?
Yes.
Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife,
Yes.
and they shall become one flesh.
Yes.
It's because marriage is the start of a new family. And marriage is the shifting of allegiances.
Yes.
From your own flesh and blood.
Right.
That raised you.
Yes.
That nurtured you.
Yes.
That sacrificed blood, sweat, and tears to bring you to where you are.
Yes.
And that, as far as you are concerned, you can die for them, and you are going to use whatever resources you have to be a blessing to them. Marriage says whatever allegiances you had to your dad and mom, or your relatives, or uncle and auntie who raised you, those must be shifted and directed to your spouse.
Right.
So that if it comes to a choice, or let's use an extreme example.
Yes, yes.
if your mother and your wife clash, which happens apparently a lot.
Yes, yes.
And your mother finally comes and says, I can't believe it. She did this to me. And so, guess who you need to side with?
Yes.
It's your wife.
That's right. That's right.
Because you have left father and mother.
Yeah.
And you have become one flesh.
Yes.
In fact, this idea of one flesh is familiar in the Bible. People who are brothers and sisters will say, this is my flesh.
Yes.
I'm one flesh with this person.
Yes.
So it still fits the concept that this person becomes your family. And so the whole point of marriage is that new families with fresh allegiances are being formed.
Right.
And this is what gives marriage the platform for you to be able to give everything you are and everything you have.
Yes.
And invest into developing this relationship.
That's right.
Because it will be work. You know, it's not like your dad and mom who you've grown up with and you already know each other and you know where not to step. And so, no, this thing is starting from scratch.
Yes.
You're both adults. You're really formed in your worldviews and thinkings and habits.
Yes.
And so it's a lot of work to break all that and bring something together that will work.
That's right.
But because you have said you are now my family,
Yes.
even more than dad and mom,
Yes.
you have a commitment to it till death.
Yeah.
So that's the idea of the one flesh union. And that's why I said earlier that your soulmate is not someone you look for. And then when you find them, you marry them. Your soulmate is the one who you already married.
Yeah.
That is your soulmate. Because according to the scripture, you are one flesh. God sees you as family. And it's something he recognizes in heaven.
Yes.
And he says no one should separate. Jesus says that. What God has put together in the bond of marriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that is why it takes time to build that solid bond between husband and wife.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You know what has messed us up? It's the movies. Because in the movies, these two people meet.
Yes.
And, you know, their eyes meet across a room.
Yes.
And they're just drawn to each other.
Yes.
And the whole 1 hour, 30 minutes, we're just being shown how this thing just goes great from strength to strength.
Yes, everything
Maybe
is
an
perfect.
ex comes in but doesn't manage to break through,
Yeah.
and they lived happily ever after. And so we've bought into this thing.
Yeah.
And it's not the reality. The reality is that you are meeting this person. We've talked about it. You're both sinners.
Yes.
You both offend each other and hurt one another.
Yes.
But hey, you've made a commitment.
Yeah.
And so you stick it out. And really, the rewards of marriage, unfortunately, people enter marriage wanting the rewards and benefits immediately.
Yeah.
When the rewards and benefits come later.
I mean, it's with everything in life. School,
Right. Yeah.
farming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to go through this battle and through this difficulty and work these things out.
Yes.
You know, because you're trying to make this thing work.
Yes.
And you only actually start reaping the benefits down the line, 5, 10 years later.
Yes.
Then you're like, oh, okay, it was worth it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Indeed.
it was
indeed.
worth it.
And talking about vows, like you said earlier, I'm reminded of the vows which says the institution of marriage is one that should not be entered into
Hastily.
lightly or hastily. Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You're watching Reform Studios. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have a couple of comments here. We have Chavala Sunkutu. The Sunkutus watching from Chalala.
Wow. Wonderful.
Yes, thank you so much for tuning in.
We have to thank them for this live broadcast.
Oh, yes.
Without them, this
Yes.
broadcast would not be there.
Yes, the sermon on Soulmates was preached at their wedding.
Right.
Yes, and inspired us to do a session on Reform Studios Live. We have Nathan Kamanga who says, I tend to think that the phrase, I believe soulmates, is thrown about because of its endearing ring. Sounds nice. I've met my soulmate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We have Nafi Ku Mbewe watching. He says, good evening. Thanks for a great topic. I'm enjoying it from Jack. And then we also have Banda German. He says, good evening, team. A great topic. Watching from Petauke, Eastern Province, specifically Covenant College, Zambia. Now, how would one know that he or she has married the wrong person? What measures must be used to know? So, what next if he or she is a wrong person? So, I don't know, maybe it's in the context of...
Yeah, I think he's worried that we said, we sort of endorsed that you marry a wrong person.
Yeah.
So what we meant by that is everyone marries a wrong person.
In the context of someone not being perfect.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there's no one who you can marry who will be your perfect match. They will be wrong in so many ways for you. There will be an incompatibility. And so in that sense, they are wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. But what we are saying is we all end up with people who don't suit us in the way we would love to, in the way we would love, the way we would like. And so we have to get on this journey
Yes.
of saying, even though I feel like this is a mismatch,
Yeah.
I will still endure and I'll still love them and seek to build this relationship with them for the long haul. So that's what we meant by a wrong person. So it's wrong
In that sense. Okay.
in quotes.
So maybe, I'm guessing that maybe the question could be, because sometimes people, when a marriage begins to break down, maybe because of a marital unfaithfulness, okay, I think there's a tendency to say this was the wrong person because, seemingly they were a committed Christian, but now this has happened, adultery, an affair, and things like that. So I don't know, maybe
That's where it's coming from.
that's where it's coming from.
So it's saying if
So
you are in such a marriage, what do you do?
probably.
Yeah.
If at all that's the angle. I'm just trying to think about it on both angles as
Yeah, I
well.
would say remember your vows. You said in sickness and in health, for richer, for poorer. You said for better, for worse. Is that adultery worse or better? It's worse. That person you married who ends up being a drunk, who ends up abusing finances, who ends up having an affair. Are those things for better or are they for worse? They are for worse. But you said for better, for worse. Stick to your vows.
Yes, yes.
And see it through.
Yeah.
And don't leave them, no matter what.
Yeah. And I've heard the term people say fight for your marriage. Yeah.
Indeed.
Fight for your marriage, rather than just give up easily.
Yeah.
Fight for your marriage. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's also people who give up on marriage find it easier to give up on the next one.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah.
People need to know there are so many marriages out there.
Yes.
And this is not to say it's okay to
Yes.
have an affair.
Yes, yes, yes. No. It's
We're not trying to say, go have an affair and hopefully your spouse will stick with you. We're just saying, to be honest, in this day and age, the marriages that go 20, 30 years without an affair in there are very few.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just be real.
Yeah.
So are we going to break all those marriages? Because unfortunately, when you get into the next one, you just leave one fool to marry another fool. So for me, it's not, you don't break a marriage. To make matters worse, I'm a permanence guy. So I believe in the permanence of marriage.
Yes. Yes.
That there are those who believe adultery is
grounds.
a biblical ground. I don't believe that.
Okay.
I've got a different interpretation. That's a story for another
Yes,
day.
and topic for another day. Tune in next month.
But I'm just saying that, so even from that perspective, for me, if
Yes.
you come to me and say, I married the wrong person, what do you mean? They've committed adultery. I'll say, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Get back to your spouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. And we have feedback from German Banda saying, "Oh, I see. It's clear now.
Okay.
Understood."
Okay.
Thank you
I
so
know
much
him.
for that. Yeah. Yeah.
So I knew where the challenge was.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Pastor Banda.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This is Reform Studios, and we are winding up. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the questions thus far. So, Pastor Mbewe, as we come to a close, I see a comment here. Okay, Daniel Ndongo, great topic. I'm Daniel, watching from Windhoek, Namibia.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Daniel.
wonderful.
Yes, it's wonderful that you've tuned in. Thank you so much for joining us on Reform Studios. So as we wind up, of course, as we mentioned earlier, single people really experience a lot of pressure concerning this whole issue of finding, that significant other. So for the single person who is viewing this program and perhaps feels like they've missed their soulmate, or are worried that they will never find them, what word of encouragement and biblical truth can you offer to help them find peace and contentment in Christ? perhaps even regardless of their marital status.
Yeah, I would say focus on your relationship with the Lord, which, by the way, you need in your marriage. You know,
Yes.
if your marriage is going to survive
Yes.
anyway,
Yes.
you do need to be focused on your relationship with God. I think it's extremely difficult, you know, to see, to get older, see people settle down, and, you know, there's just temptations and thoughts.
Yes.
And so you need to focus on your relationship with God, because those thoughts can begin guiding your decision making.
Yeah.
Your thinking, you're filled with worry, filled with doubt. Yeah, so you really need to be focused on your relationship with God. And again, for me, the church is the silver bullet. That helps with that.
Yeah.
You know, and so if you can get connected to a good church,
Yes.
and throw your weight in there, and seek to serve the Lord there, be useful there, connect with the community there,
Yeah.
be available, and just wait upon the Lord. Those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. And they'll mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not faint.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I would say. I think it is a difficult time, and it can be challenging, but the Lord is able.
Yes.
And here's what another thing I would say: better to marry later, to marry the right person, or should I say a fitting person. Better to marry a godly person late,
Yeah.
than to marry an ungodly person early.
Right.
People are crying in marriages. People are crying, and marriage is so tough
Yeah.
that it's just not worth it. You're just multiplying your pain. It's interesting to see godly Christians miserable in their marriages. You know, so that should speak volumes. Volumes. That this is not something to just say, we win.
Not to be entered into hastily.
No. This same one, for those in the international sphere, those who say, this same one, I'll just work with this same one. I mean, it's catastrophic stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to wait upon the Lord. I think it's important to get to pray about it.
Yes.
And just leave it in the hands of God, and pray fervently for the Lord to bring you someone who is right, not because they suit or they are compatible.
This magical click.
Right, but because they are godly.
Yeah.
And you can be aligned spiritually and serve the Lord together, you know, and have a godly marriage.
Yeah.
To reach out to people and bring people into your home and mentor them and groom them and love them and be hospitable. That's what you want.
Yes.
Someone to walk with you on your spiritual journey. So I think that's the most important thing, and we shouldn't give in to panic. And the only way we'll do that is if we are being saturated with the word of God.
That's right.
And we are giving ourselves to Him wholly as living sacrifices.
Yes.
So that we can discern what His will is.
Oh, yes.
Because those who are not doing that make the wrong decision. They fail to discern God's will, and they end up making the wrong decision.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mbewe. All right. This has been Reform Studios live Wednesday on the 13th of August, discussing the topic, the myth of soulmates. And I pray that as we have discussed, the myth of soulmates has been demystified, and the truth has been known, and we pray you've been blessed. Be encouraged to tune in next week for another exciting topic. We will definitely have it on our Facebook page in good time, and also on other social media pages for you to know and to tune in next week for another exciting topic. On behalf of myself and Pastor Mbewe, from us here, Reform Studios Live in Hillview, Lusaka, Zambia, it's good night and God bless you.